General link. Okay. Well, let's not do that. General link. Oh, okay. So. Oh, okay. I think that's it. Cool. Awesome. What? All right. Now the next thing is I need to get the chat. So we'll put that on a different monitor. Yeah, crypto Q here. Yeah, it worked. Not sure how I can quickly change my name. Trading Temple. My man. Cool. All right, so everything is live. Do you see everything? Do you see the chat in the side of the, like the, on the right hand side, like filling up to the top? Because I have no idea if I'm talking to myself or if this is actually working. Figured we would kind of give it a quick run through. Yes, cool, awesome. Will you guys please send all your messages through YouTube instead of Discord, so that way I can chat and YouTube. That otherwise I have to go back and forth. So yeah, I should be able to see everything in YouTube. I have dual monitors up, so when I get my new laptop, this thing should scream. Okay, cool. Zara. Hey, who's Zara? Who is that? Is that somebody from the fam? Hopefully the mic levels are good too. Anyways, let's go to ENJ. It looks good. Okay, that's Doug. What's up, Doug? Who's Zara? I want to know who Zara Jose is. But yeah, I got a lot of cool things. So you guys can see. Can you guys see the chat? Like, is it popping up like with your guys' comments like on the screen next to the Shag Don? What's up, Doug? Is it like scrolling them as you go, or is it not showing up at all? Which one did we look at earlier? Let's go to BTC. I can see it on your screen, but yeah, okay, so it's remaining empty. Okay, let me try one thing really quick here, kids. Nothing to see. We pooped out. What? Restore. Hey, is now doing it? Are we doing it now? And then pop out. Okay. Shift that. I don't see our messages. Okay, I'll figure out that one. Not quite sure. I don't see our messages on your screen. Okay, well, no big deal. I'm still working this all out. So check this out, real quick. Side note, my dad just called me, and first of all, my grandparents live in Florida, and they're pretty old. Like one of them's 71, the other one's 81, and he had quadruple bypass, like heart surgery, and like he's just not doing very well. And they both are alcoholics. Like they've been alcoholics for like 30 years. Well, I guess last night my grandma got wasted. And she's 71 years old, but this lady can drink all of us out of the table. And she gets shit-faced. And I guess she broke her shoulder. She like fell down and broke her shoulder. And like I think she might have broke something else too. But I might have to fly out to Florida and like take care of my grandma for like anywhere between like 2 to 8 weeks, because he can't take care of her because he's too old. Like he forgets he makes his coffee. Like he'll make his coffee and then he'll be like, you know what sounds good? I think I'll have a cup of coffee. And I'm like, Grandpa, you just made a cup of coffee. And it's just like, oh, that was the last time I saw him. So yeah, bro, right? Holy cow. So my dad called me up literally like 20 minutes ago, and I'm like, oh shit. Like that's real life. But anyways, that was my fun for the day. What are you guys up to? You guys having good days? Thanks, dog. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, that's life, you know? I don't know. It's all good. So, do you guys have any coins that you want to look at, or anything that you specifically want to talk about, other than just me diving in? Yeah, thanks, buddy. Sorry, I'm just making sure this layout's good, and they can see Bitcoin about to go up. All right, let's check it, dog. Let's find out. The Simpars? What's up, man? I don't know who that is, but what's up? Let's check Bitstamp. Oh, going up. Yeah, this bitch is climbing, man. There we go. Well, let's see what happened. Let's break it down. Me and my portfolio are dying inside. XMR moving right now. Curious what you think on Nano. Okay, yeah. Hey, we'll put it on the list, man. We'll see what we can do. What did I put here? What the hell did I draw? Okay. So we fell off a cliff from 60, 65. Never made a proper retrace. And then now we're bouncing off the 618. But golden cross, so that's super nice. That's when the 50 or 55-day moving average goes above the 200, which is the yellow and the white line. And then we tested it, and we ran again. Now we broke out of this wedge, kind of, if you can call it that. There's not a lot of touch points, but you can make an argument. Yeah, we got a chance, man. We'll see. Let's check out XMR moving. Let's check out Nano. Yeah, let's check out Nano, buddy. Let me check out. Let's see what we got here. Are you on Binance? I'm just going to assume Binance. Okay. Looks like a little bit like a head and shouldery, and then we broke down Huge spike in volume right here, though, so that's good. Let's see here. So we ran up, now we're selling off. Okay. So if one was to put a trend line on this, roughly. Okay. I mean, so you got a golden cross. That was 4 hours. Let's check the daily. Let's check, see how you're doing on the daily. Okay. That's a little bit better. I like the volume. The volume's nice here, especially on a daily time scale. That's literally the highest spike that you've seen in shit, dude, a long time. So that's good. Zooming out a little bit. Let's just kind of get a better perspective here. Shit, dude, this thing has been a dumpster fire. Holy shit. Okay, well, I mean, you're definitely sitting on support. I mean, this right here, looking left, is definitely support. So one could go, at least you could say you have horizontal line support here, because this was the lowest low, and now you're going above that and trending higher. On a daily time scale, you're breaking above the 200, or at least you're testing it, so that's really good. So I mean, overall sentiment is, yeah, it looks like it's kind of been accumulating, and now it's kind of gearing up, at least from the candlesticks. Let's check your MACD. So we had some bullish divergence there. You could definitely say that's bullish divergence. There's a shoddy trend line. Slight, but it's there for sure. We also had this crossed at the same time. So that's another thing that I look at. Whoops. And it looks like, hey, maybe you might be crossing again. So that's one thing I would keep an eye on. Jeez. But yeah, I mean, okay. The only thing is, I mean, you might retrace, but who knows? Maybe you get like a little small green histogram tick down, and then you run again. It's not out of the equation. I will say RSI is looking a little south, though. I don't like this. Back sun. Yeah, I mean, it's all good, dog. We're just going through it. That's what it's about. This looks double toppy, and it also has definitely some bearish divergence here. I would definitely call that bearish divergence on a daily, which is not awesome. But next support, I mean, maybe here, maybe at like 52. But, you know, look at this. You can also make an argument and say this is your honey wheel right here. You got to hold. You don't hold this RSI, I don't know, man. See you never. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I mean, that's, like I said, daily time scale. So maybe there's a bounce in between there, right? I know that I'm a scalper, and typically I look for bounces. So, oh my God, now we take our line, and who knows? Maybe we kind of come down, break down, test the 200, and still hold above it, and then run. Very, very possible situation. A lot of times these things will break down, and then what you'll get is maybe it'll catch here, and then you'll get some candles, and it'll break out, and then it will run. Yeah. Theta. Yeah, I'll pull you a theta. I was looking at this one earlier. I got this bad boy marked up. Okay, so this is my theta. Let's get a bigger perspective, and I know I drew a crap load on this chart, but okay. So falling wedge. Well, first you were in the white lines. You were in this channel, and you kind of just bounced around and ran up, broke above it, didn't close, and then since then you've sold off. From an Elliott wave perspective, I mean, you could say that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and I would probably say you'd be right. But we broke out of this white channel, which I guess that's a little bit confusing. Let me make this a different color. Just because I know I drew a lot. Okay, so you have this teal channel. You kind of ranged in between, and that's awesome as a trader because you found, you know, a range, right? And that's kind of like an ascending broadening wedge, and then you fell out, and now you're making a descending wedge. And I would say that this one's probably the most accurate, so I'm going to change this color. I'll probably make it like yellow. And no, that's really an eyesore, but bear with me. I was trading it. Whoops. I don't know what I did here. It's like that red. Okay. So I would say, I mean, you could say the white is a channel that slopes down, kind of like a downward sloping channel. You could call this yellow a descending wedge. And then what'd you do? I mean, you kind of broke out of it. Kind of. I mean, you definitely fell out of the teal. You fell out, and now you're in this new channel, and you bounced down, and now maybe you broke out. Maybe you broke out of the yellow right here. You bounced out. You retested. That looks like a bump and run, right? I like the fact that theta is also not 2,000th on the market cap. I like the fact that it's like 64th or something like that. And then you're also coming up to some pretty heavy resistance here, though. You got the 55 right here for me, and you also have the 200-day moving averages, and those are going to be tough to get above. So, but, I mean, your RSI is definitely not cooked by any means. You're kind of doing like a J hook, which is where, like, let me try to see if I can't draw it. There it is. So I would call this like a J hook, where you come up, you see this really sharp point, and then boom, and it kind of makes like a little J. You go down, you J, you hook up. You saw a last little J, hook up. Then you see bearish divergence right here. I mean, you fell off a cliff here, but you bounce back, bearish divergence. And then, who knows, now you're trying to retest. Let's check your price action. So, oh, also, real quick, this is something that I look out for all the time too in the market. See this right here? There's like, there's a little tiny, it may be green, it may not be. So usually, like when they come down and retrace, you'll see it goes green, and then boom, you see the huge red. Well, this one, I mean, it was a very, very shallow retrace, is what you could say, in my opinion, because you didn't even have a green tick to the downside before you bumped and you ran. So just kind of something to look at, you know, on a couple different oscillators and a couple different, you know, a couple different ways that I guess I see the market. In your eyes, did this support break? What support? You mean for Nano? Not quite sure what you're talking about. Anyways, yeah. So that's kind of how I'm seeing theta. I mean, I kind of think this thing's got potential. I kind of like it, but we'll see. You know, we take it one candle at a time. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think of looking at it, I mean, you could say you kind of broke a support, but it could also be a fake out too. You know, and I just watched the crypto movie. So the movie that just came out about crypto. I just watched that, and Nano was one of the ones that was in the movie, right? Sure, somebody paid for some advertising. You know what I mean? To get, if you're in a Hollywood movie, not all bad. But yeah, that's just kind of how I'm seeing this right meow. But let's see what Bitcoin's doing real quick. Does anybody have any questions or anything? Is Andiamo in here? What's the dude, the name of the movie? I got you, brother. I got you. Let's see here. Let's do. Oh, let's find it. Yeah, bro, I just watched this movie. Yeah, it's called Crypto. It just came out like a couple days ago. Got the IMBD on it, the Rotten. Let's see what Rotten Tomatoes said. %. That's okay. That's not terrible. But it's funny because they have somebody that's super relatable for people who are involved in crypto. Like they have like the crazy crypto guy, right? That is weird for going out in public and owns like 3,000 monitors. With the current rise of cryptocurrency, people find ways to exploit the system and the global economy. After discovering evidence of fraud, a young agent named Martin is tasked with following a long trail of corruption and theft. During his investigation, he finds that people involved are more powerful than he could have ever imagined. Okay. Yeah, this was it, man. I don't know. I watched it. It was kind of cool. I don't want to give away all the details because if you do want to watch it, you know, I don't want to spoil it for you. But just, you know, another kind of bullish thing. You know, if you make a movie about it, it might mean something someday. It might be more exposure. So stay woke. Oh, is this bullish engulfing candle? What? Oh, shit. Is Bitcoin trying to do things? Okay. Okay, I see you, Bitcoin. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, I do like that. Boom. So that's another one where I'm talking about. Like you're seeing a pump right now. You see here to here, bullish divergence. What are you seeing? Higher high. Boom. Everything lines up. Your RSI got caught on support, like right here. We'll draw holes where I want. Yeah, like right here. And then you broke above it and went to the upside. Now you're kind of fighting here. This line right here, I would draw it here and say you got touch points here, 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 here. So I mean, it's very, you know, it's very valid. So, thoughts on BCH, dude? Forget BCH. Are you kidding me? Look at CZ though, like making a statement. Absolutely, just delisting it, and then what happens? 3 other exchanges delist it. That's dicey. But we'll check it. Which one? I mean, I don't even know what you want me to check for Bitcoin Cash SV. Like, it got delisted. What do you mean? And we know what's funny? It's like BCH ABC has gone up, which I think is hilarious. Because think about this. You have 2 things that think they're Bitcoin. or, you know, whatever. And one of them gets delisted. One of them basically just got the ringer, which tells me one of 2 things. The other one's right behind it. Or they just beat the shit out of this one. And what do you mean the other one pumped? Well, duh. This one just got delisted. So this one's credibility is not looking good right now. That's like giving away conference tickets when you're supposed to give away a Tesla. It's not a good look. So just keep that in mind. Also, keep in mind that the Chinaman is killing crypto because they're on it, man. They're freaking running this space. But let me check it. What do you want, BCH? Gosh, I don't even have a chart on this thing. I guess we'll do it on Binance. Sure. For Doug, anything. Okay. Let's get a daily over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do I mean by that? Actually, wait, hang on. That may not make sense. Yeah. Okay. This could make sense. I got you. I got to count. 1, 2. Yeah, somewhere over here. I'd say probably like here. 3, 4. Maybe a 5th. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Huge volume spike here, which would tell me, let's see here. Okay. Not terrible. Not terrible. Okay, let's go down to a lower time frame. Yeah, I mean, I could see how you could call that a 5th wave up potentially. But the one thing I will say is if this is the 4th wave, that's a pretty shallow retrace. So maybe your 5th wave doesn't go that high. Maybe you get a failure. Maybe it craps out. Maybe it goes double tops, comes back up to where it was, or maybe you see that run up. Yeah, your RSI. I mean, it's hot, but it's not that hot. You know, she's got some room. She's got some legs on her, I'd say. Yeah, it's a 2 hour. Yeah, we'll see, Doug. Keep your alerts set, buddy. Let's see what happens here. One could say this was a shoulder, head, shoulder, maybe on a 45-minute time frame, with this kind of being your neckline. So what that means is roughly, and then you can kind of see how this would kind of form like a wedge. Terrible. Yeah, it's kind of chintzy, but you get the idea. Maybe you see something here. But don't be surprised, because here's the thing too. How big a gap is this? What is that, like 9-10%? Okay, so I mean, and right now you're in the middle of it. So could say that was a huge impulse, bull flag, maybe. Could retest up here and then crap out and then run to the upside. Or you could break the trend line and fail altogether. I mean, you've been on a pretty decent run, but there could be more. I mean, that's just a shorter term outlook on it. So yeah, just keep your alerts set. Kind of use that as like a parameter, and we'll see what happens. Like I said, this could also, this could be. I mean, the thing is, it's on a 45-minute time frame, so pattern development is not as accurate on lower time frames. But you could kind of say this is a head, shoulder, shoulder. So, yeah, your screen looks blurry. I know. I'm sorry. How blurry is it though? Is it that bad? If I zoom it in, is it better? I don't know if it's just maybe. Is everybody else having trouble with that? Let me check OBS and see what she's doing. Yeah, I don't know. Does anybody have any questions or anything, or want to tell me some cool stuff that's happened to them today? Or we'll just hang out. We can just hang out. That's cool too. Let's check back on Bitcoin real quick. This is the Binance chart. Holy shit, look at that big boy. So, huge impulse, broke down, got caught by the 200-day moving average, and we bounced right here. Okay, I like it. I like it a lot. Look at this, boom. And if we go back to our RSI, this was the line. We broke above it. Now we're running. Look where we're at. Next touch point, maybe. Could call it here. So we'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see. But we are running right now, so very, very cool. Very cool to see. Especially at critical support. BTT. BitConnect? No, I got you, brother. I don't know. What are they doing? I don't know. What's Justin Sun doing these days? Probably giving away conference tickets for Teslas instead. What a terrible look for the community. See you, brother. Oh my gosh. Let's do this. TT. I mean, look, dude, the thing with this one is a shit coin. Okay, this is definitely an S coin. And it's, in my opinion, I think it's reliant on Justin Sun and Tron and how they do. If they start moving bullishly, which the chart setup that we've looked at, that I've told you guys for a while about potential inverse head and shoulders playing out on Tron on the daily time scale, maybe we'll see something. I mean, look at these candles, dude. You can't even read this, especially on a lower time frame. There's not enough data. So, but I will say, here's what I like. Here's what I like about BTT. And this is one of those coins I'll kind of tell you guys again. I have a bag that I got at, I think it was 20, and then I laddered it down to 17 or something. But I'm letting this one go. I'm just letting this go. It's, like I said, the amount of money that I have on it is not relevant. And it's, $100 can get you 10,000 shares. Okay, well, I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to see what happens because they keep doing airdrops. Even though Justin Sun had that mess up with the conference tickets Tesla situation, I think he's pretty good at marketing. And that's just kind of, some of that could be FUD. I mean, he did do that. That was a bad look, but a lot of it's FUD too. It's getting you to look one way while they move the other. But from a charting perspective, dude, I mean, you could say this is, it's hitting maybe the 886. Maybe you bounce. I mean, you're not on top of any moving averages, and you keep getting rejected. I mean, rejection wick, rejection wick, rejection wick. I don't know. Where's your volume, man? There's no volume on this thing. You know, and the data, it's not good. You know, not saying it's not tradable, just saying it's way riskier. I mean, you might be able to put a trend on this, maybe. I mean, if one was to call that the wedge, I mean, you're getting close if it's going to do something. You know, I mean, you're reaching, I mean, what was it, 13 sats, 12 sats? I mean, you kind of tested 13 again, and we will see. Maybe. I mean, like I said, I don't have enough money on this to really change my life, but if it goes to $1, maybe. But, I mean, this is good. I mean, this is bullish divergence. You can call it that. However, this RSI, I mean, what are you catching? Maybe you'll catch here. But you could also be catching a knife too. This thing could double bottom at 12. So, I mean, monitor that you know, falling wedge-ish looking pattern from a daily time scale. It's pretty, I mean, you almost have to go at a daily time scale on a coin like this because, I mean, dude, there's only like, how many? You only got 77 candles, 75 candles to choose from. You know what I mean? So a little bit harder when you don't have as much, you know, information. And 1, 2, 3, maybe you see a fourth, maybe you see a fifth wave down. I mean, you could argue that too. This looks like bots though. Just kind of looks a little. I don't know. Keep your alerts set. Don't break the wedge. If you don't break the wedge, I think you got a shot, especially at a critical fib level. If it is the 886, who knows? You know, I don't want to play crystal ball with this. But I mean, bullish divergence here is definitely clear on the MACD. But you could see another little run up, and then hopefully you catch yourself and don't go lower. Yup. Does anybody have any questions or anything else? Any other charts you want me to look at? Questions about my day, my life, my feelings, my thoughts? How my cats are doing? What I should eat for lunch? Or are we just chilling, riding the wave? Just on cruise control. And I promise this is going to get so much better. When... Hey, GI? What's up, Jacob? Yeah, I'll check you out, dog. Yeah, once I get this new laptop and all the equipment in, man, I'm going to have a new mic. I'm going to have everything. But, yeah, let me check this. AGI? What's up, Jacob? Do I know you, man? Are you from the Discord, or are you just hanging out from YouTube? I'm gonna guess Binance. Whoa, we dumped out. All right, cool. Uh-oh. Here we go. Okay. Well, we do still have the news coming out. So the settlement I already talked about. I posted that about how they have the mainnet launch coming in May, and then they're going to be at the blockchain day. So, I mean, that's good news. And that happens on the 21st, I believe. The 21st, and then I think sometime in May. I think it's the 31st, but it could be... Oh, JD. Oh, JD, that makes sense. Duh. What's up? Gosh. Turn your brain on, honey badger. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of a nice little candle. It's better, right? We sold off. Oh, wait, this is AGI. I'm sorry. I was thinking about Ion. Scrap everything I just said. Sorry. I don't know. They might have something coming up, too. I like this, though. I like this a lot. That's huge. Cool. So, all right. So, you're in the channel, and then you broke out. And now you're kind of catching on support right here. But Damn, dude, what a dumpster fire. I'm not creative. It's all good, man. All good, my homie. I mean, let's check you on a 4-hour. Okay, so if we do, and we don't like crap out here, right? A lot of the times, this will happen. And this is a good chance to show you guys. So you're in your channel, you're rolling around, you're doing your thing, and then you fall out. Sometimes you kind of like, you do this right here. Not always, and that's probably a little bit more accurate. So we'll drop this. So sometimes you'll get this recovery range where it's kind of like you'll swoop down for a second, and then you go through here, you bounce, and then boom, then you have a little bit of a run to the upside. I like this right here. Look at this volume candle. Look at this, like, let's just 4-hour time scale. Just put a horizontal line there. Let's look. I don't see, I mean, dating back, dude, that's their highest spike in volume. I mean, since October, really since all time. So that's kind of nice. That's kind of nice to see. I mean, yes, you're selling off, but that's a big boy. And look, it respected the TA because, boom, you saw your highest spike in volume. You touched the top of the trend, and then you sold off. So what I would say is if you can hold this little wedge, you know, where you drop below the 200-day moving average, you kind of scoop down, and then you kind of ice cream scoop back up, get into your channel, and typically run. These are kind of a riskier play in my opinion, but you know, if you caught it here and it catches, you know, maybe you run to here, maybe you run to here, somewhere around in here. That's a pretty, I mean, it's going to take a while, but okay, cool. And then if you don't, I mean, this is your line. The yellow line is your line. And if you don't, you probably crap out and you probably drop down, which is a pretty significant drop. But yeah, I mean, check that. If you break the yellow line, I'm out. Like, I don't mess with it. I look for the next setup. Even though I like the project because they do artificial intelligence, and I think long term they might actually have value. But show me the revenue sheet. Show me where they make money. You know. Yeah. Let's see here. I mean, you're cruising over here. Slightly bullish divergence. You saw a bounce. Let's go to 2-hour. Yeah. Cool. Only problem is, here's the problem. Because you're running up on your oscillator, like your RSI, and you're getting rejected. That's the only thing that scares me. These here, these wicks to me, let me see if I can't blow them up. That's rejection. That's saying, hey, I don't want to go above the 55-day moving average. So short term, that scares me. That makes me think we're going to test the yellow line, right? So maybe we test the yellow line. Maybe we get a green, little red candle. You see a decrease in volume with small little red candles, and then boom, who knows? That's kind of how Honey Badger sees it. And that would also align with, you know, maybe you see a tiny little histogram tick and then you run. This would swoop below and then you would cross back. Or you could see one of these and see a big old histogram tick down and we sell off. You know? And, I mean, I guess you could say this was your last swing. Like, you could probably fib it from here. Okay, so from swing high to swing low, I would say that you're coming up on the 382. You have a lot of resistance. You got to get above the 50 and the 55. You are above the smaller one though, so that's good. I'd look at this as like a trident. So the way that I like to educate people on this is you have your moving averages, and all of these represent strength. So when you're below the thicker lines, like the yellow and the white, it's really hard to get back above them. And you notice that these kind of fan out. You see how they've kind of fanned out, and now they're kind of starting to tighten back up again. Well, you need all of these for strength. I like to think of it like a trident. So as I go below them, that's a lot of bear pressure. But as I start to pick them back up and I round it off right around here, then I started to move back in front of these little, the 8, the 13, 21, 25-day moving averages. And now we're starting to gain momentum because now we have to pierce through this line. You got to pierce through the white line. Then you got to pierce through, the yellow line. Then you got to pierce through the white line. But you need those, I kind of treat that as strength, right? Hopefully that makes sense. And then obviously, you can look at other things like volume and, other oscillators, trend lines. This is just kind of one way to look at it. But yeah, typically you make a retrace between the 382 and the 618. So anywhere in between, Volkowski will say 0.5. I'm sorry, not Volkowski, Charles Dow. Charles Dow will say 0.5. Curious about what you think about price suppression. I know that it's obviously not good for a coin's immediate value, but does it suggest that someone is keeping it low to accumulate? Yes, dude. 100,000% I believe that. That's my opinion. I truly believe that they suppress the price with news or whatever. Some article comes out or somebody says something so that people, retail buyers, not investors, not people with, that kind of money, they shake out loose hands. They kind of say, okay, well, now you see some bad news about your coin. It drops 10%. See you later. Right? And then all of a sudden, what happens? 4 months later, oh my gosh, this is the greatest project ever created. And now they partnered with so-and-so. You feel like that's what's going on with HOT? Yeah, I feel like that's what's going on with the 99% of crypto. I feel like this is a very manipulated market. And people are holding down the prices and people are manipulating them. And that's why, you see these huge spikes for 200% in a day and 40, 50%. Some of them are common retraces and respect technical analysis. And some of them are complete manipulation. But let's check out HOT. This is a super low sat coin. So you're going to have to almost check this from a daily time scale. Some serious dumps and real sell walls that go up whenever the price action is about to go on the ledger. Yup. Well, and that's one thing too, I want to get you guys more educated on, and something that I've learned is how to read the order book. You might see 10 Bitcoins ready to go in and then they get pulled, and I think that's one thing with these streams. Hopefully I can kind of help teach you a little bit more about reading level 2 price action and kind of narrate that for everybody. But you're on an uptrend, so you're at the 618. So typical place for price reversal is typically at the 618. And the 6.5 is typically called the golden pocket or the golden area. And that's sometimes where you see a bounce. And you're also sitting at a critical fib level. Or on top of a critical fib level, you're also sitting at a critical moving average. So, as far as the technicals are concerned, you could bounce here. But if you don't, I'll see you probably at the 786, which means you're going to scoop below the 200. You'll go down. You'll kind of bounce. You'll kind of find some support, which is right around here. which would make sense, and then see you later. Another thing to kind of look at, and this is something that I do, is it's not that. Can you check out what you're thinking about? So yeah, brother, I got you. Give me a second. Maybe it's here. Maybe you can call it here. So I mean, 1 touch point, 2 touch points, 3 touch points, 4 touch points. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna try to bounce, or are you gonna crap out? I mean, you got lower levels of volume, but it's definitely wedge-like. So kind of keep that in mind, you know. Let's see here. But one thing I don't like is this right here. Okay, well, maybe. You're trying to get above it. If you hold here, man, yeah, I mean, there's a chance. And if you bounce from the 618, which is a common fib level, I'll see you at 382. So if you go to the 382 from the 618, if you bounce, could take a while. Like this even shows like 22 days maybe, which is kind of like a swing trade. Yeah, maybe. Or, you know, maybe you go a little bit short and you fall at 30. You know, 30 is a big psychological number. You know, so 25 is a psychological number. 24 is not. 23, 22, whatever, 21. But 25, whole numbers. 20, 30, you know. You typically see a lot of support and resistance on whole numbers, and especially when you're trying to get out of a trade. You know, that's why I'd never tell you to try to set a buy or a sell at like a, you know, if you think it's going to 30, well, I'll see you at 29, 28. You know what I mean? Not greedy, very blessed for everything. So hopefully that answers that for you, brother. But I mean, yeah, again, you got bullish divergence down here, daily time scale, but you're just seeing your first histogram tick up. So who knows, maybe it's a small one, you come back down, kind of do like a double bottom, and then you may go. RSI kind of already showed that, where you made the bottom slightly lower low or lower high, and then boom, now you're retesting, which we talked about earlier, which is right here. And now you're testing it, and if you break above, then we'll probably see you up in these regions. Doesn't mean you can't have a situation where you went up, you retrace, you go up, retrace, you know. Alright, let's see. You can check. Yeah, let's check out Zil for you, brother. Hopefully this is helpful for you guys. If this is helpful, let me know. If this is convenient or easy or anything, any thoughts you guys have, definitely feel free, because I want to make this more educational and better for you guys. Cool. All right, Zil, what are you doing here? Okay, so the bottom side of like this big wedge that I somehow drew, okay, kind of makes sense. So you're coming up, I mean, get a little bit more accurate here. I mean, you're getting to the bounce range. I mean, if you don't bounce, at least from the RSI perspective, if you don't hold it here, yeah, I'm not super bullish. But that's just one oscillator. That's just one opinion, right? That's one idea. So now we look at MACD. Don't like that. Don't see anything kind of forming other than bearish pressure, so nothing too much to see there. And okay, So this seems like a pretty big support line. I would say that this box, I mean, these are all-time lows, right? So, I mean, as far as risk is concerned, very low risk because you're entering all-time lows. And this is also on Coinbase, so I don't think it's gonna get delisted. Okay, now I don't love Coinbase, but you know, if you're new to crypto, that's one of the first exchanges that you hear about, and they're probably the most regulated as far as working with the government if they're gonna be in crypto. So, let's see here. Let's cut that out because I don't remember why I drew that. Zill Connect. Okay. All right, so let's take it from a daily time scale first to kind of get you guys a better perspective, and then I'll kind of break it down and show you how I do from my perspective. So I would say, I mean, you could call this a swing high, but from a daily time scale, I would definitely probably say that this is your swing high. Or your last, you know, could count the wick, you could not. I'm not going to count the high wick. I'm going to use this one. Then we get a swing low. Yeah. So you're not above the 236 yet. Some people use that as a measure that if you get, they kind of use that to kind of help you determine where you're at in the trend. So if you get above the 236, then it's like, okay, maybe you found support, maybe you kind of found a bottom. Now you look for targets between the 382 and the 618. It's one style of trading. It's not really here or there for me. I use it kind of, but not really. I just, you know, I'm not afraid to play. If I think I found support, I'm not afraid to play it. So from a daily time scale, I mean, lower high, lower high, lower high, you know, like the rule of three. 1, 2, 3, 1. I mean, you could technically, I guess, call this a little bit of bullish divergence. Yeah, let me zoom in. I don't like this. Oops. I don't know that I love this. I mean, that looks definitely like a head and shoulders. I mean, shoulder, head, shoulder, and then we broke down. And so maybe we double bottom here. Maybe we look for this double bottom. I mean, you could draw a top side. I mean, maybe. I just don't like it. You know, you could call that. You could say it's from here. Maybe. I mean, you could call this a channel. There's definitely, that's one thing I want to kind of get across is there's definitely multiple different ways to look at things. How would be? Maybe. You know, so you could be in the white channel. That could be too steep. You could even say, okay, maybe it's here. I mean, and now you're looking at more of like a descending wedge, right? And then to keep your bullish divergence, you'd have to close above here and bounce. But you're on top of no moving averages. Whoops. I don't know what I did there. Hold up. Okay. I mean, yeah, so let's check other things. So I mean, yeah, it's kind of lining up with the charts. You're at all-time lows. Your RSI is at a critical point. Yeah, I would definitely wait for this one. There's no need to rush into this. There's no need to FOMO or anything because we haven't really developed much yet. We are kind of starting to develop a pattern. You can kind of see it, but we're finding the downside. And if we hold at the white line or the green line, then cool. If we hold the yellow box, cool. If we don't hold the yellow box, then see you later. See you never. That's one tender date we just may not call. You know what I'm saying? Cool. All right. What else? What else you guys got? I'm gonna go grab a drink really quick, but if you guys have questions, type them in the box, and I'll get you guys taken care of. Or if you just want to hang out, that's cool too. All right, cool. I'm back. If you guys have any questions, or if you just want to hang out, but I got some cool stuff coming with all this. I'm working on some pretty cool stuff. Oh, was this the? Oh, okay, that was the name of the trade. Maybe you could go over a more recent trade you did, and then the process behind it from start to finish, other than I don't have. Okay. Yeah, let me pull up my recent trades. I think. Okay, so I know one of them off the top of my head I did was Ion to BTC. And this is one that I posted in my trading room. Okay. And just so everybody knows I'm not fooling on this, I did post this in my trading room. Let's pull up the charts, pull up the stats. Okay. Break this red box, see you on the moon, Ion, that's XVG. Ion looks like it could be prime for a swing trade. Lots of bullish sentiment coming up on the 4th. Cool. Buy news and hype, sell the event. Yeah, Genesis Conference, April 23rd through the 24th. AVM mainnet, May 31st. Roughly, that was kind of subject to change. So, took that information and pulled a chart. So, what did I do? Let's go back to March 2nd. March 2nd is right here. Okay. And as you can see, we went on an uptrend. I think I did this from 4-hour time frame. I'm pretty sure. Maybe a 2. I got in this coin at, what was it? I think it was like 400. Maybe? No? I don't remember. March. Oh, wait. No. April. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. April. It is April. What am I doing? Acting a fool. April 2nd. Okay. Here we go. April 2nd. Oh my God. Look at this huge ass sell off on an uptrend. I'm pretty sure I counted this as an Elliott wave. 100% pretty sure I did that. But I also knew the channel. So I knew this was the channel that had been established since back in February. And then we ran. So you could say this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. A, B, C. And then who knows? Now you have another 5 count up, right? I didn't catch the first one, right? I didn't catch wave 1. And I don't care if I catch wave 1. Don't want to catch wave 2. Do kind of want to catch wave 3, but I didn't catch it, unfortunately. So I saw a 1, 2, a 3. Gave me way more confidence. This was my 4. And I entered on the 4th wave. And then I shot it up, and I sold it at like 467, I believe. I didn't catch it at 4 because I didn't know, and I'd already made enough profit because I got in at, this says 389. I'm pretty sure I got in at like, well, I bought some at 406, and then I bought some at like 393. So I mean, it averaged me out a little bit. So let's just call it 400. But you know, pull your measurement tool out on April 2nd. And like one day, 4 hours, we went 22%. And boom, what did we do? Sold off. We got a 5-wave Elliott count. In my opinion, this is how I counted it. This was a 1, 2, very, very shallow retrace, 3, which is why 4 was a heavier retrace, which was honestly a stop loss wick. But I didn't even enter the coin at that point. But we'll just call it here just for sake. 4, and this is 5, right? And it was very, very angled 5. Damn, it's quite the impulse up. And then look at this huge spike, right? Also, if you look at this candle, just if you looked at it from a candle point perspective, and using moving averages, you held the 21-day moving average, which is this line right here. Then you had a doji, or a spinning top, sorry, it looks more like a top, which is a reversal, right? And then you shot up. So all that is confluence with, you knew you were in the channel, you checked your volume, you checked your moving averages, you also checked, if you can do it, Elliott wave count. So that's 4 or 5 coinciding variables on just candlestick analysis. Just by using just candles. I haven't even talked about the MACD or the RSI yet. Okay? But there's already so many coinciding variables just on that. So one thing that I do is I block this section off. And this is, I can't take credit. I learned this from Philocone from his courses, but here's what I do. I block off the section that I'm looking at. And at the time, this was all I had, right? These candles weren't printed yet. So I blocked this off, and I put these white lines, and then I put them all the way down. I line them up all the way down. And they're not always consistent, but it's just kind of another way that I kind of do it, and you don't have to do it my way. Everybody's kind of got their own style, but for me, this is how I do it. Okay, so this is just the section that I would be looking at, because none of this would actually even be relative yet. None of this is even present. So this is why we're looking for trade entries. Okay. Another, really quick before I forget, I forgot to say this. Another reason why would you have been bullish on this coin? Why would this have been an okay coin to trade? Well, we had a golden cross right here, which tells us, even though that we're in a bear market, this is on a current uptrend, right? So we got a huge spike up here. We retraced, right? And then boom. I mean, some people could even say that that was wave 1. This is wave 2. This is wave 3, 4, and 5. I mean, you could argue that. I could see that. I'm not going to tell you no. But yeah, we had a golden cross right here, and we tested it, but we didn't go below. We tested the white line. We didn't go below the white line. So if we don't go below the white line, you're good because you're just going to ride the wave, riding the uptrend all the way. Now, granted, if you do that the entire time, right, because you wouldn't have sold here because this didn't cross. When does it actually cross? It hasn't crossed yet. So you're getting up to another point where you're testing. Now, you're not above these moving averages. So not 100% great right now because you're not above. The only moving average that you're sitting, well, actually, I think you're getting rejected by the 7-day moving average. So not awesome, right? But we already had the trade. So who knows? Maybe, the main net comes out in March and it does a cross and then it crosses back. But those are just some of the things that I look at just from a candlestick and moving average perspective. Volume, and then let's go back to here, back to our designated area. And this is what's so cool about this is that your MACD, you didn't really get a whole lot. So, I mean, using common sense, you would have been like, okay, well, I'll take this histogram and say, okay, yes, that is bullish divergence. Cool. And then you had a cross on your signal. Awesome. However, this one was way more bearish, right? You had way more bear pressure pushing down. The reason why mine's green is because I like to see you're building bullish divergence, hopefully, or you're building negative momentum the higher you go. So it's eventually going to be bearish. That's why it's red and green the way I have them set. Some people do it the other way. Some people use other colors. That's just my style. But as far as your oscillators are concerned, wouldn't have told you a whole lot, right? You would have saw this. You might have caught this because this is bullish divergence, right? So I didn't catch this. It wasn't part of my trade because I didn't see it. But from here to here is bullish divergence. And then from here to here, coinciding variables. That lines up, this crossed. You saw wave 3. Everything seems to be in line. Now, is this a super awesome pattern? No, it's okay. As far as the histogram and the RSI are concerned, they weren't very clear. They were okay, but I feel like there's other times it plays out more so that it's a little bit, this is a little bit of indecision to me. I wouldn't have necessarily looked at that and been like, yeah, baby, we're going to the moon. But from looking at just the candlesticks, I had a pretty good idea. And with the bullish sentiment coming up. Cool. Hopefully that answers that. Was that helpful? Blocking off thing. I get you couldn't see it in the future. Okay, yeah. So the white lines, right? The white lines were just, like I said, this whole section wouldn't have existed, right? So you understand that this whole region, they wouldn't have been printed yet. So you wouldn't have, so you have to look left, right? And when I entered on the second, I already had waves 1, 2, and 3 counted. And this was my 4th. So I said, boom, I think we got a 5th wave here. And we did. And then we sold off pretty heavily. I'm not blocking it off because it's Elliott wave. I'm not blocking it off. I'm just blocking it off because that's the segment that I saw. So in this instance, I saw the Elliott wave count. I decided to block it off. If I would have saw the MACD bullish divergence, I might have just blocked it off for that reason. Or if I saw a nice RSI setup. But for this one, I saw all the coinciding variables and I said, boom, okay, I'm going to block this region off. And that's to kind of keep it, within a spectrum, especially from like a shorter term trader. You only have so long to fill my criteria. And if you don't meet my criteria, then I'll see you later. Yeah. Does that answer that question for you, JD? I hope so. Because I know this stuff's tough to pick up on, and I know you're not just I don't want you guys to go out there trying to, you can try Elliott wave, but it's tough. It takes some time, and not all traders use it, and that's okay. And I'm not saying that my way is the best way. It's just the way that I do it, right? And Andiamo may argue differently and say, hey, I don't know what kind of stuff Honey Badger's smoking, but yeah, so now it looks like you kind of formed that wedge, and then you broke down. With also a bear cross on this, or between this moving average below the 200 and the 55. and this one's chasing. We'll see. Bro, absolutely. And this is like super low quality. I'm trying to make this like I'm gonna get once the new laptop comes in, it'll be able to stream way higher. I got all types of overlays that I'm gonna be throwing on here. It's gonna be sick. And then I obviously hopefully we'll be able to get Andiamo on some of these so we can just talk together. So you can kind of hear us both out, and we can both share our screens, so that way you can kind of, you know, when he's talking, you can kind of listen to him, and then when I have something, you can kind of hang out with me. And you know, they also can be independent. So if I'm not awake and he wants to do a stream, boom, 24/7 round the clock. I really like, yeah, man, that's really cool. Appreciate that. Thank you. I hope it's gonna help. And the main reason I talked to him is like we have to do it for you guys, because we can sit there and teach all day, but this will actually record. So if you miss it, you can come back and watch it later. You know, if there's some kind of something you're not getting or you're just struggling with, you can write it down and you can send it to me in a DM or in the chat, and we can talk about it and say, okay, this is what you're struggling with, or maybe I'm not super clear with what you meant there. Like with your question about blocking it off, like this is the time to figure it out. This is, you know, so that's cool. And I'll probably end up making you guys moderators to the chat, because I think eventually we're going to get more people that come on, and it's like people start, you know, we have a good group of people here, and I want to keep it that way. So cool, man. I don't know who's all here, but appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It's 2:50 in the afternoon here, and you guys are killing it. Cool. Does anybody else have any questions or anything that they want to go over? Relationships they're having troubles with? Work? Charts? Anything? Cool, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's really cool. Thank you. Yeah, and now you can watch these, you know, in your own time. You can tell your friends that you listen to this crazy crypto dude. I'm also gonna have my webcam up too. Like this computer, it struggles to run both. It's just not quick enough. So eventually, I'd like to get a little webcam maybe set up, you know, like at the bottom part of where that chat box is, and then you guys can hang out and be a little bit more interpersonal. But this computer just, it's not gonna do all that. But I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. Good stuff. Dog, I freaking love you, dude. You're the best. My man. Always showing up, showing out. All of you guys, really, dude. You guys are really cool people. Definitely glad you're part of the fam. I also know that Yat said something about Z Classics. So let's cover that in the stream too. Gotta run. Look forward to the next one. Right on, brother man. You be good. You take care of yourself. Let's see here. Okay, what did we see on Z Classic? So huge impulse up. Obviously we've sold off. Let's just do a quick fib. $886. Okay. Well, ooh, I like that. I like that. See, this could potentially be a double bottom right here. So bullish divergence you have here, and you have here. So I like that. Cool. And this didn't go lower. Or did it? Yeah, I mean, about the same. Literally looks like a double bottom. So you go with that versus, let's look at the RSI. Kind of curving up. Maybe you do a J hook. I would definitely say that this is bearish. Look at you though. And this is one way you could do it too, potentially. Don't break the wedge. But yeah, I mean, I kind of like it. Check. Hey, cool. Cool. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled on that one. We'll see what happens. Let's check a daily, but I think there's a chance there. Okay, so you broke above, but then you broke back below. I don't like that super well. Now you're getting rejected by our wedge that we drew, so that makes sense. Okay. Volume dying off though, so that's pretty cool. You know, not terrible there. But you know, we got a bear cross right here. Continue to sell off, so yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe. Cool. Let's see what we got going on over here. Okay, so it's blocking. So maybe that's just because it's not quick enough. So let me, I can fix that here. There you go. I just don't think it's keeping up. Ripple is planning on doing stuff. EOS has now commenced. Bitcoin is the new gold. $10,000, not a hard target. Okay. From Forbes. Cool. Oh, Bitcoin Cash. BitConnect. BitConnect. Cool. I'm a bad liar. We've been live for 1 hour and 26 minutes. Dang, cool. Well, I hope this has been fun. I hope you guys have learned some things and some stuff, and it was a good little first try, you know. See, I gotta figure out this. See, this is not cool. What's going on over here? Lots of kinks to work out, kids. Lots of kinks. But that's okay. We'll get there. That's why we do it. To live, to learn. Nope. Why is TradingView acting like this? Gosh, this is so slow. Oh. I have to check my run speed. That does make it quicker. Dang, okay, cool. So I did a hard plug-in. That's pretty sweet. A little Ethernet action. Cool. Well, I appreciate you guys showing up. Probably going to bounce off here. But this was a good first stream, and I look forward to the next ones. If you guys have any comments, questions, things you like, things you didn't like, notes, especially for those of you who are family members, please write those down, DM me on those or on Diamo, and I'll be more than happy to cover those in another stream or with you privately. So yeah, appreciate you guys. Love you, and I'll catch you on the flip side.